welcome into 5 Minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Today's episode is all about trust. Funny enough, I had an episode slated to go in this spot you will all see next week. The reason for it is I had to, after that ridiculous town hall on Friday with one of the big three, I had to get into the topic of trust because really at the end of the day, it is all that matters in our business. Whether that's the consumer buying a car from you or you buying a product from another vendor, it is all about trust. And frankly, calls like that give me even less trust. It's the same way I feel after I watch political debates. I trust people less when you let them talk, okay? That's what happens. These companies do not give a shit about you, dealers. They do not. If they did, they'd find a far better way to involve you in the process and not charge you through the nose for your own goddamn inventory. So if you're sitting here thinking, well, I'm not sure, maybe they're not. They're not in it for you whatsoever. Okay? That's never going to change. I get it. It's all about money, which is bullshit because I make money and I'm in it for my clients 366 days a year. Okay? Notice how I did that this year? Huh? Like that? Very good. So here's the thing. When you really boil trust down, how do you earn it? I'll tell you how I've always earned it. I've earned it by being honest and upfront. Okay? Whether that meant bringing out an invoice of a vehicle I was trying to sell or bringing research as to why a car was priced the way it was, I brought facts. I didn't bring feelings, I brought facts. And on that town hall, I heard a lot of feelings. Oh, everyone got hurt by other people coming out and talking bad about them. Oh no, what will we do? You'll try to block them from your meetings. They'll still show up and you'll do nothing to dissuade them from the thoughts they had previous to your town hall. Okay? That's what trust is about. So dealers don't trust you. You decide to have a town hall. You get done. You've lost even more trust. I mean, I was getting texted like crazy during this whole thing being like, is this guy serious? How can this be happening to us? Why do we do business with these people? Well, he told you why you do business with him because he's the biggest. He's the baddest. Yet he can't handle competitors talking a little shit about him. How sad is that? Just another tech firm's feelings who got hurt because reality's starting to slip out because wherever there is smoke, my friends, remember this, there is always fire. So as much as they can say, well, no, not this or no, not that, remember how they started the whole thing, which is one of my biggest hates of corporate America. Corporate legalese basically says all the shit we said here today, it doesn't mean anything because we don't actually have to do it. So have a nice day. Again, you want me to trust you, but you want to lead in with your own agenda. You want to lead in with legalese. I'm not going to trust that at all. So I get asked a lot of the time, Sean, how do you decide sort of what's best for you, what's not best for you in ways of vendors? And normally I do use data and all of that, but if the data becomes equal, it becomes about the relationship and the trust that is built between vendor and dealer. Period. Dealers do not trust you, vendors, but they don't have any other direction or way they're aware of to do business. So keep that in mind. When you talk about trust, you talk about why am I doing business with a specific vendor? Well, it's important that the dealer knows there are other ways to do business. And if you're not happy with the level of service you're getting for whatever reason, say something. Like that's what this town hall wanted you to do. They wanted you to go tell people. The problem is dealers have been telling people for a long time. They don't care. They don't care. If they wanted to fix it, they already would have. They don't care. They're interested in making money. Again, not trying to say it doesn't, but I heard a lot about transparency. While transparency may help build trust, it isn't the only pillar of trust. And it isn't going to be the only reason that I'm going to do business with you is because of the transparency that you quote unquote have done, which by the way, blocking people from meetings and not allowing them to know about tests you're running really isn't transparency. But I get it. When your feelings are hurt, you try and keep those away that hurt your feelings. I get it. Fine. More importantly, about that part of trust, one of the major things and lessons I was ever taught in selling anything in my life was if you're going to sell something, don't ever burn down someone else's house to build your own. Well, in that town hall, all I heard about is how all the competitors were doing this. All the competitors were doing that. Sounds like burning down other people's homes to build our own. Why can't we stand up, take responsibility for our actions, say we were wrong, and move forward? Instead, blah, 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 legalese, blah, 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 corporate non-speak, blah, blah, blah. Have a nice day. Our hour is up. 1 hour to go over the concerns of thousands of dealers. How really can you trust that process? Truly. So, I think I've gotten my point across. And if I haven't, remember one thing. Trust is the only thing that matters. And if you don't feel you have it, you must move on, because it is not going to feel better in the future. Next week on the show, I'm going to bring you your regularly scheduled programming, which was and will be all about the dreaded vendor monthly call, which is funny, right? Because here we are talking about vendors and trust, and I'm going to show you another part of why you don't trust them, because their calls are bullshit and never show any mistakes. All right? Thank you guys so much for joining me, as you always do. Have yourselves a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.